What is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez. I am back with another, not even an NBA, just a live player prop talk, a live stream player prop talk here on the channel. As always, I hope this finds you doing well and in good spirits. Happy Saturday, happy weekend to everybody. Hope your Friday did you well. Hope your protected slips did better than mine. We can get into that in a second. Hit that like button on your way in. Show a little love, show a little support here on the channel. Saturday mornings are always a different vibe for me. Don't know why. My schedule is pretty much the same every day, but for some reason, Saturdays always feel just a little different. Maybe it's just the weekend vibe, but here we are, streaming on a Saturday morning. Let's do it. Let's roll. We got about an hour and some change ahead of us. We'll go over a lot. If you're new to the stream, if you're new to the channel, hit the like button. Make sure you are engaged in the chat. If you got a question about a player prop, you can drop that in the chat and I'll get to as many as I possibly can. If you're new, make sure you let me know in the chat so I can get to your questions first. I'll bump it up. I'll bump it up the list there. But as we do every day, we hashtag blessed. Over 10% of the US population dies in their sleep every single day, every single night. If you're watching this stream, then you did not die in your sleep, and you are on the right side of that 10%. So hashtag blessed. Value your day accordingly. Kind of a morbid way to start the stream, as I always say, but it gets better from here. And definitely shed some light, you know, on just how fortunate, lucky, blessed, whatever that we are. You know, we get a new day, we take that shit for granted sometimes. So especially if your slips and your plays the day before didn't do you right, then you're really pissed off and you're just mad about stuff when you wake up. At least you woke up. So hashtag blessed, no doubt. So we move on from death to turds here on the stream. One of the most unique and morbid ways to start a stream. We go from death to turds, and then after this we'll top it off with some injuries. Oh yeah, all the fun stuff. What's going on, GMAC? What is up? Vu, good morning to you. Let's do this. Top of it, my boy. What's up? We already got it. Yeah, let's start with the turds. Let's do it. I guess the biggest turd of the night, I guess, was Paul George. 28.5 PRA was the line that everybody was after. I chased his assist demon in my protected play, and obviously he didn't hit that because he did not go over anything. He went over nothing yesterday. So if you play the over on his props, you really felt the pain. Now, I don't know if he continued his blocks streak. He did not. He got a steal. So he couldn't even get you one block. So PG-13, parental guidance, was not on board yesterday. He did not respect the coin. Scoot Henderson did not respect the coin yesterday, and that's really not his fault. I took the under on his PRA and his points. Felt real good about that. Then felt better after everything got bumped down. I felt like I got the best line. The Portland Trailblazers were getting beat so bad that he just stayed out there on the court and played 41 minutes. That game was over in the second quarter, and I just thought Scoot would see limited minutes in the second half, but I guess there's nothing to lose. And he stayed out there and got 20 points by 0.5. That's a bitch. That was a little frustrating, but outside of that, I mean, cheat sheet did well. The free sheet in the freemium section did well. Cheat sheet in the premium section did great. About the only thing that went wrong was our write-up on Scoot Henderson. So we move on to a new day with new plays, new write-ups, and all the good things here on the stream. What's going on, Knuckles? Good morning to you. I think GMAC, your turd was Paul George. We were having a little back and forth in the Discord about his performance yesterday. Definitely did not get anywhere near that PRA line. 28.5. Any other turds? Any other turds? Vu, you also took the turd of the day for you as Paul George. Yeah. Any other turds? Trying to think here. I'm just gonna scroll through the list of games from yesterday and just see if anything stands out outside of Paul George. And Paul George and really, I think everything Scoot Henderson, everything that we talked about was kind of on point. I was just checking that De'Aaron Fox point prop. Our boy Divine was really, really set on De'Aaron Fox getting 26 points yesterday. He got 23. So we talked about the under on a lot of those plays. We didn't really talk so much about Sabonis yesterday, but we looked at Fox and his numbers, and they just didn't really look good. So going with the numbers, going with the data will pay off more times than not. But we tend to remember those times where they don't pay off and we just get pissed off. But data worked out yesterday on De'Aaron Fox. He got 23 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. All right. Let's move on. Let's get this going. Let's move on from death to turds to injury news. 10 viewers on the stream right now. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit that like button as you walk through the door. Means a ton. Means a ton. Let's get into some injury news today. Saturdays are super weird. We already know what happens on Saturday. There is a high level of I don't give a fuck amongst the NBA. And it's going to happen again today. This is your injury list. This is not even like this is written in pencil. We already know Dame is out, Desmond Bane is out, and Alvarado is out. Aldama and Conchar are doubtful. Jalen Johnson is questionable. And then Dyson Daniels and Patrick Bev are both probable. So I'm pretty sure there will be a name or two that you don't see on this list that will get ruled out. And it's just how it is in the NBA, especially on teams where their seeding is fine, their playoffs, playoff pictures, in view, and they may not need these games. Celtics, but just keep your eyes out for injury news because Saturdays will always be that day. Sundays as well, especially on the 3-game slate like today. We're already kind of limited with the picks. And as they start to rule people out, it gets even tougher to make the right pick. So play light or don't. It's your bankroll. But I would suggest you play light and pay attention to the injury news today. Moving on. Plays for today. Cheat sheet, like I mentioned, did well yesterday. Pulled plays right off the cheat sheet. We'll get into our plays from yesterday that we talked about on the stream. But also today, free cheat sheet is already up in the Discord. If you want to check that out, go ahead and check it out. Premium cheat sheet has already been posted in the Discord. If you're a premium member, then you've seen that already. But let's go. Let's get into our 3 plays from yesterday. And actually, before we get into that, props.cash is what we use to research all of our props here on the channel. Thanks 25 is my code. Use it, receive 25% off. Boom, promo done. Let's get into our plays from yesterday. So we talked about 3 plays on the board yesterday, and these plays were taken off the cheat sheet. They were also on the free sheet. So Peralta goes over pitching outs. We talked about that and what a good spot that was for him. Unless he got rocked or was just giving up a bunch of runs, he should see over 5 innings, and he did. He got you 6. Jalen Duren absolutely destroyed this line. This one got bumped up to 14.5. Didn't matter. I think he finished, I might be lying here, he finished with 20 rebounds, 17 rebounds. So he got this on just rebounds alone. We also talked about his point prop yesterday. We also talked about his 14.5 point prop yesterday. But on this particular screen, we were going over his RA. So those 2 hit. That was from Mookie and Chino. They got their plays in. Those are taken right off their sheets. And then my play, wouldn't you know, was the only goddamn play that didn't hit. Scoot Henderson gets you 20. He gets it by the hook. So 2-1 with our plays yesterday. So I'm the one that messed this sweep up. My apologies, but that's how it is sometimes. Overall, Plays were great. All the plays were in good spots. The research was there. Scoot Henderson just got way more minutes than I thought he'd get in that game against the Heat. So we move on to a new day, new plays. Saturday's streams are super chill. Outside of the first few slides, it's pretty much a freestyle, a free flow. So we're going to head over to PrizePicks. We're going to pull up the PrizePicks dashboard. We are going to look at some plays. We got MLB plays to look at. We got NBA plays to look at. If you want to look at NHL plays, we can do that. On the cheat sheet, I got a couple of NHL plays that look good. So let's do it. Let's head on over to PrizePicks and let's start looking at some plays. Now, if you don't play on PrizePicks, that's cool. That's totally cool. Whatever player prop you have your eye on, put it in the chat so we can look it up on props.cash. If you want to put where you play in the chat as well, then that would be cool too. So for instance, if you're looking to play CJ McCollum over 9 rebounds and assists on underdog, or Jaren Jackson under 9.5 rebounds and assists on PrizePicks, that way it just makes it a little easier to find those plays in the chat. What is up, Seaver Warner? Good morning to you. Sean Kemp 40, what's up? Good morning to you. Hell yeah. Was that you, Sean, who brought up the Lowry 1.5 points the other day? I played that too. I played it with Olynyk first quarter points. We talked about that on the stream. I threw that in I think I threw it in a first half slip. So I had a couple of first quarter point props, and then I had a couple of first half points, and that slipped it pretty well. That was a hell of a good play. What's up, Manuel Vasquez? What's going on? Good morning. Yeah, Knuckles, Wemby hit. What did you play on Wemby yesterday? Was it his rebounds and assists? I think you talked about his rebounds and assists, right? He got 20 rebounds. That's who I was thinking about, who got 20 rebounds. Wemby had a fantastic day. Between he and Brunson, I think they combined for 100 field goal attempts. Did y'all know that? I mean, that's what Brunson does. That guy just 47 field goal attempts, and then he only took 22 field goal attempts. Wemby? Why did I think he took 40? So never mind. 69 field goal attempts between the two. I thought he was closer to 40 yesterday, but Brunson definitely took 47 field goal attempts. That's crazy. 25 of 47. That's 2K shit. That's my career shit right there. Yeah, GMAC had the great play of the day. Wiggins over 6.5 rebounds and assists. Probably felt real good about that after Kuminga got ruled out and then Clay gets ruled out. So, I mean, I didn't even check to see if the line bumped at all. It probably did, but if you played it yesterday at 6.5 on underdog, and that was the play. We did look at his rebounds on PrizePicks because we couldn't pull up that particular line on PrizePicks, so we just looked at it on props.cash, just trying to figure out what other play we could roll with. He had 8 rebounds yesterday, so you could have actually played his rebounds on PrizePicks and it would have hit. You could have played anything on PrizePicks, it would have hit. He finished with 36 PRA, 20 points, 8 boards, 8 assists. He had 2 blocks, 2 steals, 1 block. He had over 45 fantasy points. Wiggins looked good yesterday. All right, let's get this going. So on the screen, what I have right now is just a slip that I played, and I threw it over in the Discord. Did I throw it in the Discord yet? I did. So perfect. I threw this over in the Discord at 8:43 in the morning. So these are the plays that I had on the board. We're missing one play. Somebody got taken off the board. Jaren Jackson under his rebounds and assists. Braden Points over 0.5 points. Now, this Braden Point is a goblin, so it is just grading out really well. So PrizePicks went ahead and nerfed it for you. Jamie Benn over points, and then Malik Beasley over 13.5 points. Jake Rogers is the one that's missing. So Jake Rogers, I hope he didn't get scratched. Jake Rogers over 0.5 hits or 0.5 total bases, wherever you can find it, they're basically the same thing because you can't get a total base on a walk. It has to be a hit. So they're basically the same thing. He got removed from the board, but that was a 5-pick that I liked. And I like this particular 5-pick combination because even with the Goblin in there, it wasn't reducing payout. It was still giving a 10x on a 5-pick. So the combination worked, and you're getting a really good value on this Braden Point. But put that over in the Discord this morning. All right. Let's get this going. Let's roll it. Let's roll it. Let's rev it. Let's shake and bake, wake and bake it. Where we starting off first? NBA. First player prop I see. We're just going to go with it. Kyle Isbell over 0.5 total bases underdog. All right, we're going MLB. Let's see if he is on PrizePicks just to see how they're doing these total base props. A lot of these total base props get removed. They're only on the board. There he is right there. They're only on the board for a limited time. It's not, honestly, a lot of these base props, it's not because PrizePicks is being stingy and shit. There's a lot of these players get scratched. A lot of these are role players, or maybe they're just like spot starters, or they're just like utility rotation kind of guys. They're only in there for like the lefty righty matchup or something. So when you see players get removed, most of the time in baseball, from my experience, because they got scratched from the lineup. It's not because PrizePicks just pulled it off the board. Whereas in the NBA, they'll pull it off the board because it's too good of a play. But let's start with Kyle Isbell, 0.5 total bases. We can take a look at that. G-Max said he took the over. Jake Rogers on underdog. So Jake Rogers is no longer on PrizePicks. He was playable on underdog, JOCKMKT, HOTSTREAK, and PrizePicks. And I just want to confirm that he's still on underdog. There are a lot of Jakes. Damn, he is not on underdog. I wonder if he got scratched. I wonder if he got scratched from the lineup today. Let's see if I have a DNP in my slip. That's going to be a great start to the day. Nah, he's still in there. So hopefully, fingers crossed, his ass is still in there. Manuel, Clint Capella over points and rebounds. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Hope everybody's having a good Saturday. 18 of you on the stream. What do y'all do on Saturday mornings? Typically, you guys get up, you just go right to YouTube. You guys got a routine. You guys like to go bowling in the morning. I got that term from my younger brother. He likes to bowl in the morning too. All right, let's go Clint Capella. Now, Jalen Johnson is questionable today, so I don't know. We'll look at it over on props.cash. Don't know if that's going to have an impact on Capella's minutes or anything like that. We'll look at it. We'll look at all this shit. Adam Delgado, what is going on? Happy Saturday to you. Manuel, yeah, that holiday, I missed it. I missed the holiday. It's 9.5 points. It got bumped up to 10. Let's look at it anyway. His points, rebounds, and assists were also at 18.5. All his lines got bumped up. All his lines got bumped up. So it's gonna happen. Only 3 games on the NBA slate today. It's easier to bump plays. Rolling. this might be a poll question. Rolling or bowling? For anybody who knows what I'm talking about in the morning. Are you a roller or are you a bowler in the morning? What's up, JR? Good morning. Tristan Newton under 6.5 rebounds. Let's take a look at that. I'm assuming that's a college basketball player, right? I don't think that name rings a bell in the NBA. Yeah, we like the over on that one. Under, gotcha. All right, we got 4 players on the board today. We got some fantasy scores on the board too. Oh no, that was for college basketball. My bad. Let's take a look at the popular plays. Roller. All right. Derek White's popping. Middleton, 11 rebounds and assists. That's about the only thing he's been getting done this last week. He sure as hell ain't scoring any points. Capella over points and assists. Man, this. Let's take a look at this Derek White. His points and his demon points. That's a pretty big gap, though. I like it when we get it between 2 to 3. Maybe hold off on that one. If there's any other demon up here that's popping, that's not too big of a discrepancy, we can definitely look at that one. This Trey Murphy was at 5.5 rebounds on underdog. This one is strong. Let's look at this one. It never was at 5.5 on PrizePicks. From when I woke up this morning, I didn't see it at 5.5. So if you ended up playing this at 5.5 on PrizePicks, you got in a good line. But at 6, we can still look at it. Stimulate your mind, Craig. Holiday, you want to look at Holiday's assist? All right, we got Holiday's points up there. We'll look at Holiday's assist. All right, we got 5 players on the board. That's enough to get going. Round number 1. So we're going to look at Kyle Isbell over total bases. We'll look at Capella over his rebounds and points. Holiday points and assist. We can look at Holiday. Hold on. So Holiday's points are at 10. Holiday's assists are not even on the board. So at this line, he needs 15 points and assists. He needs 11 points here. So the difference between that would be 4. So his assist line, I don't know what it is on underdog or any other line or any other pick'em site, but based off this math, he needs 4 assists to go over points and assists, assuming he gets you points. So 4 assists seems a little low, but we can take a look at points and assists on props.cash. All right. Trey Murphy over rebounds. Let's take a look at that. And then Tristan Newton under rebounds. Knuckles threw in the Bogdan Demon threes. I think that's at 4.5. Let's take a look at it. We got 6 players on the board now. Away we go to props.cash. I'm assuming everybody here has seen props.cash, knows what props.cash is. But assumptions are a bad way to make decisions. So if you've never seen props.cash before, we're getting ready to use it in real time. You already know the promo code, thanks25. But props.cash is what we use every single day. So many of you have been here many times, so you're familiar with that. Where are we going to start? Let's start college basketball. Let's look at this Newton. We're going to look at his rebounds. We're going to look at the under on his rebounds today. All right, so rebounds projected for 7.87. Now, projections are always, it is vary from site to site, from publisher to publisher. Projections, there's not a one way to do it, you know. So you're going to see a lot of different projections no matter, you know, wherever you do your research. If the projections don't align with the odds, there's a discrepancy there. I always say go with the odds or side with the odds, because the odds are universal and the odds are across multiple data points in these books. So that's way more. It's way more backup confirmation. DraftKings likes it. To neither side at 115 to each side. Caesars does like the under. Consensus is barely going with the under here. PointsBet and BetMGM, DraftKings don't know what to do with this line. So this is kind of up for grabs at 6.5. Anytime you see those split odds, it doesn't really mean it's a bad play or a good play. It just means that the money coming in on that particular line is just like flat. You know, it's just not flowing to either side. Let's take a look at his last 10. He's averaging 6.5 in those 10, which is exactly his line. Now, over his last 5, you know, these games are, you know, I don't know if all of these are NCAA tournament games or just like the last 2 or 3. But nonetheless, up until this game against San Diego State, he has not been rebounding well, and he definitely hasn't been pushing 7 or more. So this one does look like a strong play, assuming that this trend continues. These are weird odds. 152. Where's that 152? Oh, okay. I didn't see this one over here. So, okay, FanDuel has it at 152, but that's at 5.5. So that's at 5.5. This is at 6.5. So this has shifted from 5.5 to 6.5, and you can see how lopsided it was at 5.5. If you can still find this on FanDuel at 5.5, that's a hell of a big line. Minus 152 to the over, but at 6.5, you have more information to work with the under. So yeah, that one looks fine. Let's take a look at Kyle Isbell. Total bases. Anybody take the under on Luka's rebounds yesterday? That was another play. We talked about the odds shifting when lines get dropped from 10.5. It was looking so good, but at 10, there was that heavy push potential. He finished with 9 rebounds yesterday. So we talked about paying attention to those odds on multiple books, and all those books had the under at 10. But it's a little scarier at 10 because he can easily push that. But yesterday he finished with 9. That's back-to-back games versus the Kings, I believe, that he did not cross that rebound prop. All right, so let's take a look at this Kyle Isbell hits prop or total bases. You can see that these are identical lines. They're the same thing. If you play on a site like HOTSTREAK will have both total bases and hits, and would just play the one that offers the better payout, because the way the fantasy scoring system is set up, you can't get on base by walk or being hit by a pitch, intentionally walked. You have to hit safely to get a base. So if total bases is offering you the higher payout, just take total bases. It's the same shit. Now, if it's specific, like on underdog, like 0.5 single, 0.5 double, that is completely different. But total bases and hits, as long as it's the same line, same number. Damn. All right. 3 straight games. Let's make sure we understand that all these games are not this season. This is the one game this year. This 328, right? So let's narrow it down. So this is the only game we have to go on. He got 1 base. Perfect. Projected for 0.6. Projected for the over by a smidge. Now, when we look at this line, DraftKings likes the under. Caesars likes the under. PointsBet is split. Pretty much all these books like the under, but you are getting juice to the over. So this one is kind of in no man's land, to be honest with you. Aside from the odds, let's take a look at what Isbell's done against right-handed pitching today, taking on Joe Ryan, who's got some gas. But last season against righties, had a 224 batting average. Majority of his plate appearances were against righties, so that's what he saw the most. 18 doubles, 1 triple, and 5 home runs. Let's get over to hits. Let's see how many singles he had last season. 29 singles against righties. That's exactly what we need today. Just get a single. He's on base. He's good. Joe Ryan versus left-handed batters last year was pretty efficient. So 315 batters faced from the left side of the plate. He allowed fewer home runs. He allowed fewer extra base hits, and his singles were up there too. So listen, we don't need Isbell to go out there and hit for the cycle. You need one single, and Joe Ryan gives up singles to each side of the plate. Isbell hits righties well. It's a 0.5 prop. You can't, I mean, I guess you could hook it at 0, but he either gets it or he doesn't. There is no, I need one more. That's it. So that's a fun one to play. The 0.5 hits are always fun to play. I do wish we had better odds on this one, but they are what they are. How many at-bats is he going to get? Let's see what he got last game. Plate appearances, he had 3 against Minnesota. On the average, let's look at his last 10. Upwards of 4, that's his max, and then he should get you a minimum of 3. So 3 at-bats. Let's hope he gets you a hit in one of those at-bats. You know, that to me is, you know, a good amount of opportunity to get the over. So I like the over on that one. All right, let's take a look at Drew Holiday. We're gonna look at Drew Holiday's points. We're gonna look at Drew Holiday's assist. Now, Drew Holiday's points sitting at 10.5 right now. This one got bumped up from 9. But all the books right now have it at 10. So at 10, you're getting still positive odds to the over. I just realized that my screen was like minimized for some reason. There we go. All right. Hey, all right, there we go. All right, so FanDuel has the over, DraftKings over, Caesars really likes the over at 135. But damn, BetMGM are seeing it differently. Look at that. He's projected for 11 today. Okay, so one thing I noticed this morning when I was looking at this player prop at well, I was looking at his PRA at first. The one thing I really noticed is he absolutely crushes New Orleans. He does have only one game this year as a Celtic. The other 2 games as a Buck, he crushes New Orleans. Now, he used to play for New Orleans. I don't know if he just like wants to stick it to him every time he plays them, but he is playing them very well. So 9.5, 10.5, he's doubling up that prop. Over his last 10 games, 70% hit rate. Over his last 5, he has a 60% hit rate. Again, projected for 11. You are getting fairly good odds across the board. Outside of what BetMGM has, every single one of these books likes the over at 10.5. So if you got it at 9.5, that must feel really good. If you want to play it at 10.5, I think you can. Look for it at 9.5 first. Let's look at his assists. Now, remember, if you want to play his points and assists on PrizePicks, because his assists alone are not available, you need 4 assists from him. Assuming he gets you 11 points today, you need 4 assists. What did I do too? You need 4 assists today. So what he's looking at right now is 4.5 across the board. All these books, they do not like the over on this one at 4.5. That's cool because we only need 4. So let's bring it down to 4. In every but 2 games out of his last 10, every other game he's gotten you 4 or more. So you got to like this one. So if you like his points at 10.5, the 11 projection feels good. The odds feel good. He needs to get you 4. So you're just basically asking him to do what he's been doing. 4 assists, 11 points. There's your 14.5 points in assist. So you have that play to go with, or you can just play his points flat out at 10.5 if you want to. But that one looks pretty good. All right, let's look at I wanted to look at this Trey Murphy rebounding prop because this one kind of caught me off guard. I always think of Trey Murphy as a scorer, as a 3-point shooter. I really didn't realize he was putting in work on the glass like this. So over his last 5 games, he's gone over in 4. Over his last 10, 80% hit rate. He's averaging 7 and 6, or excuse me, yeah, 7 and 6 in those two blocks. The bad news is Boston's a tough team. That's the bad news. The good news is his projections look fantastic, or excuse me, his game logs look fantastic. His odds at 5.5 were too good to ignore. But now that this has been bumped up to 6, we're gonna have to take a look at what that is. Got 3 push games in there, and you still have games where he's clearing this. So it's still there. You can also take a look at his rebounds and assists today, because if he's projected to get you a minimum of 6 rebounds, that's 3 assists. 70% hit rate over his last 10, 60 over his last 5. He's averaging damn near 10 in all these games. I mean, this is pretty good production. His odds at 8.5, much better than his odds at 9.5. I would not play this just because you are cutting it a little close. But at 8.5, that is really good. That's a really good line at 8.5 if you want to roll with that one. Let's look at somebody got taken off the board. No. They did not. Let's look at Clint Capella. Rebounds and points. Who else was in this? Oh, Bogdan. Perfect. With last 2 plays. I did not plan it like that. That just worked out that way. Last 2 plays of the first round. We'll take a look at Capella and Bogdan today. Points and rebounds for Capella. So if you like what you see after we dig into this one, go look for his double-double prop. I think it's on Underdog, 0.5 double-double. If you like what you see, because with the double-double, you don't need to go over points and rebounds. Like this number. You just need 10 and 10. So that's 20, 21. No, you need 20. So that might be the better line if you like what you see so far. So let's look at his points and rebounds. He's gone over this particular line. Is it 23.5? 22.5. Points bet MGMs. Every other book has it at 22.5 except FanDuel. So let's look at it on points bet. 22.5. It looks much better than 23.5. He's gone over this in 80% of his last 10, 80% of his last 5. Numbers against the Bucks. 2 games this year, 2 overs this year. So this looks strong. His projections also look very good. However, we're not seeing a clean sweep across the board with his odds. You're getting some major juice to the under on DraftKings and BetMGM as well as Caesars. But you are still getting some juice to the over. So it's not a complete like shift to the under, but pay attention to those numbers, being that the under is giving you stronger odds. Now, if you don't like that and you're like, oh, fuck that, I'm not going to play it, I don't like the odds, then let's look at a double-double potential for him, because in these games, he's getting you 20 plus. Let's see how they're being constructed. So over his last 5 games, let's bring this down to 10. Over his last 5 games, over his last 2 games versus Milwaukee, he's gotten you 10 or more in both of those games. Over his last 5 games overall, he's gotten you 10 or more in every single game. And then over his last 10, 100% hit rate. 100% hit rate with points in his last 5 and 10 games. Great. So now, is he getting you 10 rebounds in every single game? Almost. 90% hit rate. Clint Capella double-double is a much better prop. If you can find that anywhere, that's where I would go with it. And then second, I would go with his points and rebounds. But man, that double-double prop looks like a very strong play. All right, let's take a look at Bogdan. Demon threes. Now he's projected for 3 3-pointers today, but with the Demon, you're looking for him to get you 5. So let's take a look at his last 10 games. He has hit 5 1 time. Now his numbers against the Bucks, he's gone over this. He's gone over his normal line twice, but hitting 5 threes, he has not done that. Let's look at what he's done on the year. How many times has he given us 5 threes? There we go. I'm waiting on this shit to update. Wow. Okay, so in games he's played this season, he's gotten you 5 threes in 5 or more in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It doesn't happen very often. It is a demon play for a reason. You're never going to get favorable odds on demon plays. That's just not what it's about. So you're going to have to look at game logs. You're going to have to look at shot volume. You're going to have to look at injury news on the team. Is anybody out that would allow him to take more shots? It's always going to be a riskier play when you go with a demon prop. Never look at the odds on demon. You're never going to get odds on demon props. So you have to find another data point to look at. 3-point attempts. He's attempting 8 3-point attempts in his last 10 games. So that means he would have to knock down over 50% of those today. It's a risk. If you want to use that as a boost. So like for instance, if we just ran with these plays, so you already know your typical 6 pick will offer you a 25x payout, but with the Bogdan Demon, this is getting boosted up to a 46x. So obviously if he hits it, then you're in good hands, but he doesn't need to hit this in order for you to get this extra payout here. So if you get 5 out of 6 on this one and he's the one that you miss, or if you just miss one, it doesn't matter. You're still getting almost a 5x on what would otherwise be a 2x. So maybe you want to use this one as a payout boost, but that 5 is looking real risky because he's just not doing that very often this year. All right. Isbell over. Capella over. Plays double line first, then look at his points and rebounds like the Drew Holiday. Also, you can look at Drew Holiday's points and assists if you want to go that route. Newton under his boards. Murphy, I like this much better at 5.5, but if you want to roll with it at 6, it's playable. And then Bogdan, you can only take the over on this one, so risky. But if it hits for you, you're in good shape. All right, let's screenshot these. Let's do another round. Player props today. Boom. And also your payout, if you put 20 on that one, would be $920. Up from 500. If you put 20 on a normal 6 pick, that's 500. So that's a nice day if you get it. All right, let's see what we got here. Tristan Holiday's assists are 4.5 on underdog, which means he needs 5. I think his points and assists at 14.5 is strong because that line hasn't been moved up. His points got bumped up, but his points and assists stay the same. That's a pretty good line. Oh, if you got it at 4, that's the play. All right, let's talk about Wendell Carter rebounds. Wendell Carter at 7 rebounds. What's up, Ruben? Good morning. T. Shannon, Demon, Illinois. Let's so we got T. Shannon, Demon, Illinois. We got Connor Joe, Demon. What's going on, David Watlington? Welcome in. Zion under points. What are his points at? 25? 26.5? Whoa. Tatum assist is kind of low too. Let's 5. Let's look at that. All right, let's look at this T. Shannon. T. Shannon Demon. What are we looking at? Points Demon, rebounds Demon, or 3-point made Demon? What were you looking at, Seaver? For now, I'll take his. I'll put his points up there. Points demon. What's up, Curtis? Good morning. McCollum PRA. You like the over or under on that? Ooh. Did y'all hear that? I don't know if you heard it. That was like a good shoulder pop. So I got McCollum's PRA. We can always switch it. I got the over on it, but let me know if you want to, if you were looking at the under over. Manuel says it went up. Are you talking about Capella? And then could get 16 points and 7 rebounds. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of different combinations for the points and rebounds for sure. Just looking at the game logs, though, just consistent 10 plus boards, 10 plus points, just kind of lunch pail, go to work kind of thing for him. The double-double looks good if you feel that his PRA or his PR is a little high. Over on McCollum. All right, cool. All right, that's 5 up. Let's put a MLB play in here. So we got Connor Joe has a demon. What is it? Total bases. You looking at the total bases, Seaver, for Connor Joe? So that's a double. It's any extra base hit. Tristan, what's up? Says Tatum is 4.5 on underdog. 4.5 assists on underdog for Jason Tatum. All right, let's roll over to props.cash. If we like Jason Tatum at 5, then go play it at 4.5 on underdog. And that's how we trend. That's how we leverage that line. Tatum 5.5 first quarter points, 4.5 assists. It is on underdog. It is nerfed at 0.8. So if you want to take the payout decrease, you can play it at 4.5. Let's look at it anyway, though. I also want to look at his first quarter points at 5.5. And away we go. Second round of player props. Appreciate y'all being here. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button on your way in. Means a ton. Let's knock out these MLB props first. Let's take a look at Connor Joe. Demon, total bases, 1.5. And then we're also going to take a look at, was that the only MLB prop we have? It is. Okay. Pittsburgh versus Miami. Total bases for Connor Joe. All right. Now, PrizePicks said, we're going to take your original total baseline and make it a demon prop because you're getting terrible odds on this one, sir. However, if he hits it, then it helps your payout. What is this payout with this particular group? 38x with Connor Joe's demon prop in. Oh, we also have Terrence Shannon in there as a demon. Okay. All right, so let's look at this. 2 games against Miami this year. This is just the opening series. Three bases here, 0 bases here. Total base prop, he's only projected for 1.33. And your odds on this one are terrible. We already know odds on demons are terrible, except for hockey. Sometimes hockey offers you pretty favorable demon lines. But this one is just already, it's not going to be a pretty number. Let's look at his numbers against Ryan Weathers. Okay, so Ryan Weathers is the opposing pitcher today for Miami. 7 plate appearances versus Ryan Weathers. He has a .667 batting average. 1667 slug, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 3 RBIs in 7 plate appearances. He has the most plate appearances against Ryan Weathers. He also has the best numbers, not even by default. He just crushes Ryan Weathers in a small sample size, but he's crushing Ryan Weathers. What does he do against lefties? He's not that bad against lefties, but look at the difference in batting average, 265 to 667. So this particular lefty, he crushes. Ryan Weathers versus righties is giving up. This is last season. Ryan Weathers gave up a 315 batting average. He faced almost 200 right-handed batters, 31 singles, 12 doubles, a triple, and 8 home runs. If Connor Joe gets on base twice, he's over this. If Connor Joe hits a double, he's over this. This one doesn't look good on the odds. This one doesn't look good on the projections. But this one, we always try to look for that one piece of data that'll support a demon play. And we got it with this BVP matchup. So if you want to roll with the over on this one, you can, because this line is insane. That's a pretty decent find. Play that demon prop and leverage that payout boost. All right, let's go over to college basketball. Let's take a look at Terrence Shannon. Illini guard. So 22.5 points is his regular line. Now his demon line is 24.5. So let's go ahead and boost this up to 24 and let's see what we got. 24.5, I should say. So doesn't change a thing. In his last 5 games, we can move this up to 25, and he still doesn't have a game that he's gone under that in his last 7 games. 8 games. Now, the original line at 22 is giving you decent odds on DraftKings, on PointsBet. The other books, Caesars also. So those 3 are giving you the best odds. I mean, this looks strong. I mean, the demon prop looks decent on this one, and you can literally roll with a couple demons. We just looked at a couple demons that honestly aren't looking like that big of a risk, and just leverage them for a payout boost. Those 2 look strong. If you play those 2, let me know. There's a difference between playing demon props and like doing some research on the demon prop and trying to figure out like which one is going to offer you the best shot to score. There are some shitty demon lines out there, and I think we just came across 2 good ones. So put those in your back pocket or put them in a slip. All right, we're going to move on to the NBA. We got Carter, Zion, Tatum, and McCollum. Let's do it. Let's go to NBA. And we are going to go to the Boston-New Orleans game. Let's take a look at... We got 3 players in this game, so we should move through this round pretty quickly. Let's take a look at the over. CJ McCollum, 31.5 PRA. He is projected for 35.56 today. With odds on FanDuel as a coin flip, DraftKings, BetMGM, and PointsBet see it as a, I don't know, you tell me. Caesars is the only book that has this with the over -127. So let's start there. 4 straight games are giving you 32 or more PRA. 5-game log looks great. 10 games, not the best, but there's a big switch here. Brandon Ingram being out doesn't hurt. We talked about this in our last stream when we got the news that Ingram was going to be out. Who does that impact on the team? And from game logs and just from data, we saw that CJ McCollum is really benefiting without Ingram on the floor. Now, his numbers against the Celtics, not the greatest. But This is what we're looking at today. Let's take Ingram out. In the last 10 games played without Brandon Ingram, 80% hit rate. In his last 5 games played without Brandon Ingram, these are all this season, 80% hit rate. You see what I'm saying? Take Ingram out. This might be similar because the last 5 games are without Ingram. Last 10 games, 29 points, rebounds, and assists. Without Brandon Ingram over his last 10, 35 points, rebounds, and assists. This game is at home as well. Few misses in there at home without Brandon Ingram, but over his last 5 games at home without Brandon Ingram, 80% hit rate. So again, all this correlates really well. You can definitely throw this in your slip. It's very playable. Let's look at Zion under 26.5 points. Boy, have they just bumped the shit out of his points. I mean, for good reason. He is playing all-star level basketball right now. Last 5 games at home for Zion Williamson, he has gone over this line. Nope, he has not. Let's fix stats. He has gone over this line in 4 out of his last 5 games. At 26.5, DraftKings likes the under. Caesars likes the under with a little juice to the over. BetMGM likes the under more than the over. FanDuel and PointsBet still have it at 25. So move on. We don't care about them. DraftKings. This is the current line. This is the current odds. This is what he's done at home over his last 5 games. Over his last 5 games in general, he's going over this line. Against the Celtics, he hooked it. He hooked it with 26. This is a good example of just playing a line that keeps getting bumped up and bumped up. Like we talk about with Sabonis, those lines keep getting higher. There does come a point where you're like, fuck that. I'm going to take the under now. If you've been taking the under on Sabonis' rebounds at 14.5 the last few games, it's been working out for you. So at some point, you do have to, make a decision and say, okay, that's too high. Is 26.5 points too high for you, for Zion? Or do you feel that this continues? This kind of production continues. The odds say it doesn't. The odds say he does not go over this. 1, 2, 3 major books says, nope, he's staying under. Zion can go for 26 and still get you over PRA. That is very possible. All right, last play. Let's look at Jason Tatum. Last play, right? Oh, we got Wendell Carter. So let's look at Jason Tatum's assists. 5 on PrizePicks, 4.5 on Underdog. So at 4.5, he hooked it under, but 80% of the games he's getting you at least 5. Numbers against New Orleans, he does have that one game this year. He got you 8. Projected for 5. I like this projection because it's not some crazy ass number. You can believe it. You can believe he gets you between 5 and 6 assists. So this one is believable for me. I think this is accurate. 4.5 assists on FanDuel. Give me the over. Give me the over. Give me the over. Give me the over. It's playable on Underdog at 4.5. Now at 5, let's look at it at 5. Over his last 5, when the line is set to 5, he's gone over 3, hooked it once, and under once. Over his last 10, he still has gone over in 6 games, pushed it in 2. It's still playable at 5, but why play it at a higher line? If you don't have an Underdog account, use my promo code. It's in the screen. It's in the description of the stream. Sign up, get a deposit bonus, and play it on Underdog. If you already have an Underdog account, just play it on Underdog. 4.5. It's a good line. Last play of the block. Wendell Carter over rebounds. And now this is set to 7 on PrizePicks. not 7.5. So at 7.5, you're getting terrible odds. We don't have a line for him at 7.5, or excuse me, at 7. But at 7.5, you're getting mad juice to the under. That juice is fucking angry. That juice is sitting in rush hour traffic. That juice is angry at -125, -130. Projected for right at 7, 6.83. You round up. Numbers over his last 10. Started this game block off strong and has really lost some steam. Some blowouts in here too. Really hurt his minutes. Last 5 games, 6 or less in 3 of those games. Head-to-head matchup with the Grizzlies. He does have 1 this year. He got you 9. My only concern with him, over his last 5 games, his minutes have been, man, they've been bad. Over his last 10 games, you're seeing this decrease, right? On the year, he's a 26 minute per game guy. Over his last 10, 25, and then over his last 5, 22. These minutes are going down. Is it blowouts? Is it, hey, we're resting you for the playoffs? We got Wagner behind you. We got a pretty big front court. We don't maybe need you as many minutes. I don't know, but I would just be concerned about these minutes, because if he's not going to get full run, if he's not getting full minutes, then these lines are not accurate, because these lines are based off full game run. So I'm really not sure what to do with this one. I'm probably avoiding it just because I don't trust the Magic right now. But if you think 7 is too low against the Grizz, who are allowing a lot of rebounds per game, then you like the over because it's at a flat line of 7. All right, 6 up and 6 down. Is my chair? Nope, my chair was way low. Okay, 6 up and 6 down. Yeah, you can play the over on his rebounds because it's at a flat line, but man, I just don't like the Magic's front court right now. Zion under points because the odds say that is where you go. Tatum still over 5, played at 4.5 on underdog. We like the over on Terrence Shannon's points. Demon points look good. McCollum without Ingram is eating, and Connor Joe, that's a good find. Doesn't have the best odds, but the BVP, batter versus pitcher matchup, is a very good one. That is the data point we need to feel somewhat confident about playing that demon. So on these plays, if you rolled with this exact lineup in your slip, it's a 38x payout and offers you a 4x if you get 5 right. Not a bad payout. Boom. And boom. There you go. Woo, 27 viewers on the stream. Hit that like button on your way in. If you're new to the chat, throw it in the chat that you're new. I'll prioritize your question. Let's see what we got. So we looked up Tatum. We looked up McCollum. Yeah. Those are really good numbers. It just needs a double. That's it to go over that. Yeah, I mean, no shit. Memphis is giving up a ton of rebounds. I just, man, his minutes scare me. That's the only reason. Who's out for Orlando? Nobody's out for Orlando. Just Fultz. Franz can snag boards. Boncaro can snag boards. You got Mo Wagner in there snagging boards. Also, so if you wanted to play the over on Wendell Carter's rebounds, I mean, look who's on the other side of the court. It's Jaren Jackson, who's not really known as a prolific rebounder. So if he's not grabbing boards as a big, then it does leave more opportunities for the Magic to get those boards. I don't know if they all go to Wendell Carter. Man, those minutes scare me, man. I'm not gonna lie, but it's worth taking a shot. 7 is a flat number. All right, let's do it. Let's clear it out. Let's do a few more plays. Actually, hold on. Actually, we didn't do this yesterday, but let's spend a minute over on let's spend a minute over on OddsShopper. Let me just show you OddsShopper. Let's take a look at, this is the only article right now in terms of player prop bets to consider. Jaren Jackson player prop under 21.5 points. Trey Murphy under 25.5 PRA. So those are a couple of player props you can look at. Let's take a look at this MLB player prop bets and home runs. Let's see what they're talking about. Got Max Fried under 1.5 runs today versus Philly. You're looking at JP Sears under 0.5. Excuse me. JP Sears under 5.5 strikeouts. Home run pick today, Garrett Cooper. Is he still in Miami? No. He plays for Chicago? He did play for Miami at one point. All right. Let us I'm going to show you the fantasy optimizer picks. So this is going to show you all the player prop market across whatever pick'em site, across all leagues. First play that's popping on the board in terms, not this Zion play, that's a discount for new users on Sleeper. Jonas under 7.5 rebounds. This one is on Dabble. Pinnacle likes the under at -155. 7 on Underdog, 7 on PrizePicks. This one got bumped down to 7. Hard Rock, if you can play on Hard Rock, -130 on this one. Under 7.5 rebounds for Jonas. Marcus Damask, under 4.5 rebounds. This is 203. Under 4.5, -203 on Pinnacle. That's insane. This soccer matchup is not, this soccer game is not till tomorrow, but Phil Foden under 2.5 total shots. I don't play soccer props, but if you do, Severino under 5.5 total strikeouts as the Mets take on the Brewers, -160 on Pinnacle. All these books like the under on Severino. Let's see if we can find somebody we looked at today. Hey, how about an over? Over 4.5 rebounds for Franz Wagner. This one's sitting at 5.5 in some places. So you are getting a discount on PrizePicks at 4.5. There's Zion right there. Zion under 26.5 points. Pinnacle likes the under at 25.5 at -104. So how much do they like it at 26.5? All these books like the under, except Sleeper because they're at 0.5. But outside of that one, all these other books like the under 26.5 points for Zion. That's cool. Yeah, there's a lot of plays on here to look at. There's a lot of plays on here to look at. A lot of pick'em sites to look at. But those are just a few. We talked about Zion, so that's cool. All right. Let's go back to PrizePicks. Let us pull up the board and let us do a few more player props before we dip out of here. Let's start with Lugo over 4.5 hits. Let's do it. So that has to be on underdog, right? Right, Tristan or Sean? Nope, not on underdog. Is it on HOTSTREAK? If you guys haven't signed up for HOTSTREAK, sign up. I got a promo code in my description, but you can move your lines. It's very similar to chalkboard. What are we looking at for Lugo again? Oh, hits allowed. Let's see. Yeah, he's at 4.5 on HOTSTREAK. You like the over on that one. That one's giving you a 1.71x payout. So yeah, it is playable on HOTSTREAK. Let us let me just click this one. We'll look at his hits allowed on props.cash, but I just need this as a placeholder. Ooh, Caitlin Clark under 50.5 PRA. Under 50.5 PRA. Ruben says he does not trust those Magic players. Yeah. Boncaro was good for a while with the under. Remember they had his PRA up at like 42, 43. We're just pulling the under on that shit every day. They bumped Terrence to 23 flat. Oh, Tristan, if they bump Terrence Shannon 23 flat, then that demon looks even better at 24.5. So that's telling you that everybody and their mom was playing the over at 22.5. Now they're going to bump it up to 23. Why play it at 23 when he needs 24 to get the over? Just play it at 24 where he needs 25 and get a payout boost. That one works out well. They bumped Zion down. Of course they did. You sure? Where they bump him down to? Anything under for Brook Lopez will be good. Ruben hates Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez fucked up his slip the other day. Boncaro under 7.5 rebounds. All right, so Curtis, I saw this one earlier this morning. And I almost wrote him up because it was grading out so well. And then I looked at the matchup and I was like, damn, the Grizzlies are just like terrible at rebounding. And then I thought, oh, his numbers against the Grizzlies aren't even that great. And I'm like, but they give up a lot of rebounds. So I was kind of torn. We'll look at it though. We'll look at it. We'll definitely look at it. Just, I hate those kind of plays where there's just not that like full, that full like I don't know how to explain it, but when all the data points aren't there, it just leaves me scratching my head a little bit. Those are the ones I tend to stay away from just because I can't make a decision. But we'll look at it. Let's look at it. Right? All right, let's take a look. We're already in this game. How beautiful is that? Okay, minus 128 to the under on his rebounds at 7.5. He's gone back-to-back games, 3 out of his last 5. And then in his last 10 games, he does have a 60% hit rate. Is it 50? 3, 4, 5, 50. My math is not good today. All right. So looked at that this morning. I looked at his projection. Okay, great. It's at 7. That's good. Saw that and I was like, fuck that. Then I saw his numbers against the Grizzlies and I was like, all right, I know this is the only game this year, but these 2 games still happen. Jaren Jackson also, again, on the other side, he's not the best rebounder. He's not grabbing 10, 12 a game. So I feel like then more opportunity for Banchero to go over on this one. Same logic for Wendell Carter Jr. The difference is that Banchero's minutes are secure and he's getting you well over 30 in these games. Over his last 10, he's giving you 35, whereas Wendell Carter is barely getting you 23. So he's going to be on the floor longer, which gives him more opportunity to go over. I just hate that line. If it were 8, oh my God, all day long. You can play it on HOTSTREAK if you want to play it at $8.5. It's only a 1.47 payout on the under, but if you wanted to play it at 8.5, you have that option on HOTSTREAK. But at 7.5, you still have a lot of numbers that are working for you with this one. But his number, I don't know. Banchero always just finds a way to pull a Scoot Henderson on me. But again, my personal opinion out, my bias out. The facts are the facts. Great odds to the under. Projections look good. And then when we look at the under across all books, you do have BetMGM that likes the over. Caesars likes the over. But DraftKings, FanDuel, and PointsBet all like the under. So you have more books that like the under than the ones that like the over. So we're just being factual here. We're not being biased. This looks like a good play for the under. Personal opinion out. All right. So let's take a look at Seth Lugo. So we're going to look at Seth Lugo's hits allowed at 4.5. That one is on HOTSTREAK. Or was it Underdog? It was HOTSTREAK. It was HOTSTREAK. It's probably on a book as well. I just can't pull up books on because I'm not allowed to. Who the hell does he play for again? Is it San Diego? Oh, he's in KC now? Oh. Minus 145 to go over this line. That is a pretty hefty line. He's gone over this in 7 out of his last 10 games. Now, this season, there are no games. He's making his first start of the year in matchups against the Minnesota Twins. One game last season, he allowed 5 hits. He is projected for 5 hits. Over on Caesars, over BetMGM, over on Pinnacle. Now, Pinnacle is regarded as the sharpest sports book in the world. At minus 134 on Pinnacle, that speaks loudly to me. Yeah, this one is in play. This one's in play. All right. Didn't we looked at on Odd Shopper, wasn't Luis Severino popping up there, or was it his strikeouts? Oh my God, how many guys in the MLB are named Luis? A lot. He goes from the Bronx to Manhattan. He just jumps over to the Mets. All right, let's take a look at his odds. -120 to go. Oh, these are funny odds. Pinnacle doesn't know what to do with it. Neither does Caesars, and BetMGM is the only one giving you no, they're giving, so that's a split. Caesars is the only one giving you different odds. They like the under by a little bit. He is projected to give up 6 hits today against Milwaukee. He has routinely given up 5 or more over his last 10 starts. That's funny. Yeah, you can definitely go there. It's like he just starts the game with 5 hits allowed already. That's just it's already like baked in. Oh, they pulled the Lugo play off of what? He's still on hot streak. If you want to play on hot streak, he's still up there. Zion under 43.5 fantasy score. Oh, it's already almost 11. Oh, I got to jump on a call with my peeps in the Discord here soon. So we're gonna finish this stream out after we look up Zion, and then I screenshot these. Lost track of time a little bit. All right, so under 43.5. Let's head over to props.cash and let's take a look at his fantasy score by way of projections or by way of odds. And let's see if we can build out a fantasy projection for him. So one way I like to do this is by just looking at the projections and just doing the math. So let me pull up the old trusty calculator here. And I do it by the points too. I don't just round it up or round it down when I do the math. So 7.74, you're going to multiply that times 1.2. That's 9.28. 9.28 plus 9.28 plus 27.55. So that's 45.78 fantasy points right there. 45.78. That's 52.71 fantasy points. Now you're going to take away his turnovers. There's 48.48. Okay, so we all know that projections vary. Projections are not gospel, but based off these projections, his fantasy score is looking close to 50. All right, so just remember that 48 fantasy points. Let's round it down. The other way you can do it is by looking at the odds and projecting them based off odds and not projections. So when we have a projection of -120 on his points at 26.5, that's what we're playing at 26. So in all fairness, let's say he gets you 26 points. So we're going to start there. 26 points for Zion. Rebounds are looking like he's going under these based off these projections. So let's just say 6. So that's 7.2 plus 26. That's 33 fantasy points right there. Let's take a look at his assist at 5.5. I say 5 assists is in play. Plus 7.5. That's 40 fantasy points right there. And if you want to look at his steals and blocks, he is projected to get you 2 here. So that's another 6. That's 46.7. And then lastly, we're going to take away his turnovers. And he's projected to go way under 3.5. So we can be fair and just say he gets you 3, because he's hitting 3 in a lot of these games. He's hitting 3 or more than he's getting you 2 or less, right? So we're going to deduct 3. And that gives you a fantasy score of 43.7. So look at the difference, 43.7 to 48.8. That's your range right there. So right now his fantasy score is set to 43.5. He's going over in both of those scenarios, but at least with the odds, the way we broke it down using the odds, he's closer to the under on that fantasy score than he is the other way around. So that one for me would be a little too close, to be honest with you, to play it, just because I like to see a larger discrepancy. I'd like to see his fantasy score grade out to about 42 or 41.5. Then I'd feel very good about playing the under at 43. That one's a little too close. But if you feel like he doesn't have a good shooting night and he gets you 25 or less points, he's definitely going to go under fantasy score. All right, let's see. What's going on, Aunt Clay 01? Welcome in. Faded for show. You got it, Jesus. You're welcome. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it. Anybody else got any last minute player props they want to just throw in the chat? Or does anybody have a play of the day they want to share in the chat? What round is it? This is our 3rd round. We did 3 rounds of player props. It's like our average 3 round. I think yesterday we did like 5 rounds though. We did a lot yesterday. Yeah, smash that like button for sure. Smash the like button. All right. Looks like we are getting ready to call it a day. Appreciate y'all lasting this long. If you've been here the entire time, I hope you gained something from the stream. I hope to help you see your player props a bit more clearly. Maybe you came away with more ideas for your props. Maybe we put you onto a player prop you weren't really looking at, or maybe we put you off on a player prop that you were looking at, and after you looked at the research, it didn't look good. So hopefully this helped you, no matter how you're building out your slips. Sub up to the channel. Consider subbing up to the channel. Hit that like button for sure, though, on your way out. Consider sharing this channel with somebody you know. Posted the new link to the premium Discord in the chat. At the very, very, very top of the chat, you'll see that link. You can click that link or just copy and paste that link, and it'll take you over to our freemium section of the Discord. Still a ton of information in the freemium section. I take care of that. I make sure that there is a lot of information to go around. But if you want more information, if you want all the information, then you can learn how to sign up for the premium monthly, and that is in the learn more tab, the learn more channel in the Discord. But no matter what you decide to roll with, there's a lot of information in there taking care of you all. But that's going to do it for today's stream. No stream tomorrow. We don't stream on Sundays. I'll be back Monday morning at 9 a.m. Hopefully we have maximum profits to talk about, minimal turds to discuss in that live stream. Be careful today with the plays, as Saturday is a weird day in the NBA. Players will get ruled out that weren't on the injury report. So just make sure you keep your eyes open for that. And I wish you all the best of luck. Hope all your player prop respect the damn coin. Again, we'll be back Monday, 9 a.m. with another live stream. Player prop talk. And until that live stream, have a great weekend. Chavez is out.